needed.
Yo, what's up, agents? Patrick Wolf here. Today's video is going to be an LMG tank build. This is, in my opinion, the best PvP build at the moment. I can't use anything that has better utility, damage, survivability as this build. I would recommend this build to anyone looking for, may I call the meta build. I would classify this as the meta build right now, and this is just from personal experience. This is all my opinion, so don't think that this is the word of the game and this is all that you should use. But everything I'm going to tell you is my opinion from personal experience and playing many hours testing other builds, and this build is by far the one that I think is the best. So the build I put out I think it was a few days or a week or two ago, was the Super Pulse build. This build is actually a work on from that. So I've actually used mostly the same elements of it, but I've upgraded it, min-maxed it, and made it a lot better, fitted towards how I feel everyone should be playing and how everyone else seems to be playing. So yeah, so first of all, we need to do the sharpshooter specialization. You guys need to unlock as many as you can. Obviously, by now you should maybe have it fully unlocked. It's up to you. If you don't have enough time, make sure you get breath control for the weapon stability, this one for the reload speed, and this is the most important one for the headshot damage. And you also get this one which reduces the chance you are critically hit in conflict by 20%, which is pretty high. And another one that's very important is My Home is My Castle, which is extra armor gain while in cover. Um, that's important because this build is the survivability is unbelievable. You have a lot of armor, and when your armor gets depleted, you get 70% of it back, and you can still do massive amounts of damage. So this is the build right here, guys. So there's a lot to talk about in this build. So stick around and don't skip anything. Okay, so obviously we need to look and say, oh, 3 firearms, that's not much. The meta these days, guys, is not actually stacking firearms. If you're using an SMG and assault rifle, you want to maybe go for more firearms, but with an LMG build like this one, you don't need it. This build does mass damage, and obviously, as you can see, we've got 12 shields there, 12 defense, and we've got 311k armor, which is pretty high, and 113k health and 500 skill power. So this build is big all across the board. So let's get into the more detailed part of it. But the gun. All right, so this gun is the same one that I normally use. You guys need to get unhinged. It's very important for this build. That's how you make up for a lot of your damage. So we get 20% damage. Don't worry about the weapon handling. If you guys are on console, you could use two-piece ongoing directive for the stability. It really does help. Well, basically it's a weapon handling that you get 20% of, so you can actually get it all back from 2 ongoing directive. So we need that. Allegro is obviously the one, everyone using the same talent on the second one. Second role must be Allegro, definitely. I just run the Nemesis because it helps with long range fights because of the unhinged. You don't get too much accuracy, so you'll struggle at long distances headshotting people. So this is just for the longer ranges. I get a lot of headshots with this, and you can one-shot people with this because of all the stacked headshot damage. So definitely use this. You guys could also use anything you want, really, but I would recommend that, whatever secondary you want. But Chatterbox could work because you do get a decent amount of reload speed. This talent over here, the holstered talent from the Lullaby, is very good as well. You actually just roll and you get 25% ammo back. So you could also use that if you guys want to really spec into this. So this build, as you can see, revolves around the Pulse. The Pulse skill is the strongest skill in the game for PvP, in my opinion. I believe that a lot of people will say, well, you could have rolled this on your mask and got this damage, but the fact is when you pulse and you can see where someone is, you've already got a massive advantage. I can see where you're aiming, what you're doing. I can flank you. Just that alone means that I can start shooting you before you even know I'm there. So that alone gives you a massive edge on players in PvP, and I am yet to lose a 1v1 using a pulse. If you're pulsed, you're dead. That's what I normally say when I'm playing with my friends. I pulsed him, he's dead. And I've never ever lost. That's the only reason why, is because you can surprise people. You can, as soon as they, even before they leave cover, it's almost like an ESP aimbot. As soon as they, I'm sure you guys know, you've used pulse before. As soon as they are just about to enter cover, you can even start shooting them before you even see them. So you'll do a lot of damage from that. Unbreakable. Now, I'm just going over the talents to show you guys why this build is so strong. So you have mass survivability, 70% armor back, guys, with 311k armor. You are you're an absolute tank. Unbreakable is the best talent to roll on the chess piece here, by far. Like I said before, this is all opinion and experience from me playing this game. I promise you guys, you try what I'm telling you here, you won't die. You will do very well in PvP. All right, so Unbreakable gives you back that massive chunk of armor. So once you pulse, you get that 20% damage. You get the Unbreakable back, get your armor back, and then you're going to be doing some heavy damage back with On the Ropes. Obviously, On the Ropes is one of the strongest backpack talents right now. That's why we have 7 electronics, just enough to get it unlocked. It's very difficult to get all these talents unlocked, and that's why I'm going to show you guys why I've got this random piece of Ongoing Directive. There's still a little bit of work to do. There's just one more piece I need. So let's get into the details of this build. So we got a Gila Guard. The 3-piece gives you the 15% skill power. That's why we've got 3 pieces here. It just helps with everything towards the skill power. It's not, you're not wasting anything there. You definitely want to roll health on here, guys. This is not the greatest roll. Having utility roll there is important because it helps towards getting that juicy 7 for the On the Ropes. So always keep that in mind because you could also, damage to elites is not important. It's a PvP build. So don't worry about that and you wouldn't actually be able to have your tankiness with it. So for example, if I put this on, we'd go down to 98 health. So as you can see, you need to get a high roll of health. That's a pretty decent roll for 15k. It's not bad. Then spotter, 20% weapon damage. So you get an additional 20% weapon damage. So just with this unhinged plus that is 40% weapon damage already. So that's pretty good. This chest piece, this is where it gets very important. You guys are going to do a lot of farming for this. Good luck. It took me a while. It's still not perfect for me. So I got 45k armor, which is massive. It's very high. It's almost fully the full roll you can get. Obviously unbreakable there. You need 11 guys. You need to have 11 shields. So it's not easy to unlock all these talents in unison. And you can put a lot of stamina mods here in one utility, which is great. Now, this is not perfect. Ideally, you want to have this armor roll, and you want to have another piece that rolls armor percentage. That's what you want there. I'm yet to find it. It's very difficult to get the perfect pieces in this game. But if you guys are lucky enough to find armor and armor percentage, go for it. That would be perfect. It'll bring your armor up to like 330k, which would be great, at least. All right, so the holster is also, this is where it gets a bit tricky. Now you have to have utility roll here. I actually don't have enough. That's why I've got a random piece of Ongoing Directive, is because this one, I just wish I had, instead of crit damage, I had another utility roll. Then I could roll whatever gloves I wanted. So this is the piece that I'm looking for right now. That'll make this build perfect, but it's still pretty good. 33k health, guys. Do you see that there? I was lucky enough to find a piece with that much. You can get things like 11k, 11% health, which, as you can see, it brings it up a bit, but not to the level of what this does. So roll health on there. Cooldown reduction. That's nice for the pulse. So anywhere you want, don't roll skill power. Roll cooldown reduction for the pulse to get it back as quick as possible. So crit damage would be better to have like skill power, things like that, or cooldown reduction, maybe some more if you could. And then we could get um, the 7 that we need without having to roll it on the gloves, because let's just go into that quickly. The gloves, the only reason why I've got these is because it's got skill power and utility and 10k health, so it's the right piece for me at the moment. Everything else is just not cutting it, and I just need to get that holster sorted out. And once you guys do that, you could have whatever gloves you want. I would go for something that has devastating on it. Devastating would be perfect with LMG damage and then a massive chunk of health. So something like this is what I would run. Like I said, I could put this on, and then one of the most important talents of this build would be deactivated. As you can see, guys, it would already bring my stats up, but it's not what you need. I need the utility on there, and plus you get the 10% weapon damage, LMG damage. So it's very important to have the Petrov group there, the group defense set. So yeah, On the Ropes will be deactivated for that one. So this is where it gets interesting. Now, if you watched my Super Pulse build, you know exactly what's going on here. We'll use the pulse. You identify the enemy. You do your damage, and then when you're healing up, you get 25% weapon damage plus unhinged. So you always got that 45% damage at all times. It doesn't go away, and that's why this build is so strong. It really is. Survivability is great, and the damage output, guys, you will be amazed at how you shred people with this build, especially hip firing. It's very potent. So On the Ropes is vital for this build. You need this. You need a good raw armor, and you need a good raw amount of health. I was lucky enough to get a very good backpack here. yes, the gear score is a bit low, but I do have weapon damage 8.5%, which is great. 12k armor, 10k health on the ropes and hardened. You need all these pieces, guys. So good luck if you don't have this, because it takes ages. It took me a while to farm for these pieces. So that's exactly what you need on the backpack. Otherwise, you will not be able to be a tank and have all these skills active. So we've gone over the gloves. It doesn't hinder the build too much. It only maybe removes a bit of damage, to be fair. But that's why I'm putting this video out now for you guys now, because it actually doesn't really affect me too much. I don't even notice a difference. But yeah, with those two pieces, you get where I'm coming from to make it a little bit better. So obviously we got the knee pads, Gila Guard, my favorite set. I love the set, it's very strong. The hazard protection really helps as well for PvE. You can throw this build in the raid and you will do very well. You don't have the damage to elites, but the survivability will help you a lot. It'll let you put all that sustained damage to use. So we've got 15k armor, damage to elites right there. While in cover, weapon handling is increased by 25%. Braced would be great for console players. You guys, I would rather roll that for PvP. Like I said, guys, you mustn't. Sometimes you can't copy all the details from me, because you need. It depends how you play if you're on console. So make sure that you maybe do it to advance your playstyle in a way. So once you've got that piece, you've got a very, very strong build. In my opinion, my best build I've ever used in this game. So I hope you guys give it a try. Let me know what you think about it. It is based on one of my previous videos, but I just needed to give you guys an update. Like I said, you guys need to have your armor 300k, health 100k. Very important for that, and you'll never die. You will do massive amounts of damage. It's just a great build to use. So let's get into the stats here. Everything's active. You need that to be, everything needs to be active, guys. Weapon damage 25k is not bad per shot for this gun, especially not rocking a lot of damage. Well, firearms basically. So crit chance, don't worry about that. There are other talents you can roll in your gloves that will give you extra damage. Um, Obviously, with the crit as well, you can stack damage. The talent where you stack damage, where you have lower than, I think it's 5% crit chance. So you guys can, well, adjust it to what you want. But like I said, I don't have the right holster, so my gloves are not exactly what I want. So I will be doing that later on, but I'm sure you guys can figure it out, whatever you want. Reload speed from the sharpshooter. Then we got all weapons damage bonus. This is where it comes into play, guys. You could actually use an assault rifle or anything else with this build. Well, I wouldn't use an SMG because we're not stacking crit, but you could put an assault rifle on this build and you could do a lot of damage. Just swap to the survivalist, but make sure you use an LMG. It's just the best gun to use for PvP right now, so definitely use that. 10% LMG bonus. That 28.5 is a fat chunk. It really makes a big difference. That's from all my good rolls on my gear, like on my backpack. That 8.5%, it all stacks. Oh, defense, it's looking great, guys. Health regen 60k. Hazard protection 20k. You are a tank and you dish out massive damage. So yeah, skill cooldown reduction is also quite important. I've got a 21%, and that's due to modding and things like that. So just put on the best mods that you guys have. So I've got utility mods there. Whatever you guys can get, try stack the armor, health, things like that. So if you guys are wondering, I just wanted to give a shout out to this helmet. Everyone's asking me where'd you get the helmet. This is the I'll actually show you. So you actually get this camo with it as well. So it's the first responder pack that you get from pre-ordering the game. So I pre-ordered it. I got the ultimate edition. You have to get the ultimate edition to get this first responder weapon skin, and you actually get the it's like a firefighter suit as well. So an extra stash space, all those things. So that's how I got it, guys. Just for anyone who was wondering. So the pulse, you can't really mod it too well because you don't have a lot of skill power. So that's where it differs from the other build I put out previously, is because we had a lot of skill power then. But what you can do is I got things like this which don't actually require too much. You can maybe raise your skill power if you get a little bit better rolls. Like I said, if you get utility, I could probably increase it a bit more, maybe to get to 700. You just go to the base of operations, go right over here and craft some pulse mods that are purple. You can buy them from her and then craft them over there, and then you can get a little bit extra cooldown and probably make your pulse come back about 40 seconds, 30 seconds, which is perfect. So yeah, guys, this build is really good. I love it. Unbreakable really makes this build stand out. That 70% armor back, it really saves you, especially in well, when you're 2v1ing people. It gives you a chance to 2v1 people. That alone is great. All the damage that you get from this build and survivability is amazing, and I really love this build. I hope you guys do. And if you did like this video, please leave a like, subscribe, click that bell to keep in the loop of when I post videos. I think this week I'm going to be posting a one-shot build with a sniper that you don't have to even use a scope, and you can one-shot NPCs, all gold NPCs one-shot. So make sure to click that bell so you get a notification when I do upload the next videos. So anyways, guys, I'll be seeing you in the next one. Peace out, boys.